With us now is Alan Mayo, not Mayo, like Mayo, even though he is involved with restaurants. It's Alan Mayo. How are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to see
Good.
you.
So we met and we've been networking a lot in New York City, and you used to do something else, but in the course of us knowing each other, you found your true passion, and that is being a hospitality consultant.
Correct.
And I told you were brilliant for that because you grew up around the restaurant industry. So,
I
right?
did.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how your past experience growing up helps you do what you do well today.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, growing up, the restaurant industry and catering industry it's a demanding, it's tough, and having come from it myself, growing up, my father had a chain of restaurants. At first, not so crazy about being part of it, but it sort of gets into your blood, and once it's there, it's not leaving. And I have a passion for it now, and I love helping out. I love helping out businesses reduce waste and increase their efficiencies.
And you had some success right out of the gate. You know, you've had some clients that have come to you and they're like, whoa, you know. Tell us about that without any names or details, but like, what was the situation for them?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because I did get a lot of traction right away. There's not a lot of folks out there helping restaurants maximize their profitability. And having worked in corporate America for 20 years, I learned a lot about how to do that, and I can bring that to the table, no pun intended, for my clients now. But my clients sort of range. I have smaller sandwich shops as clients. I've got sit-down restaurants as clients, and everyone asks me the same question: well, how can you help me?
Yeah, what can you do for me?
What can you
Right?
do? And it's all about process improvement and strategy, aligning strategy with the sort of the tactical implementation that a customer would see when they come in the door.
Now, what are one of the biggest mistakes restaurants are making right now? They're not looking at what, in your opinion?
The little things.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times the little things get lost, and it becomes death by a thousand cuts.
Okay.
Slowly, there's that sort of margin erosion, and you don't even realize it's happening. And that's dangerous. And you realize it when you say, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't have enough money to pay my bills this month and pay and get pay and make payroll." So that's probably the biggest thing I see happening out there.
Prices in terms of product also, let's say like roast beef, now beef is higher. So that means that your roast beef sandwich that might cost you $2 to make, you're selling it for $4, now it's costing you $3.50 to make. Is
Right.
that what you're finding? Are you finding like little tiny things that are just across the board?
Sure, across the board, but certainly on the food costs, there's no
Okay.
doubt about it. And you know what I tell my clients is, look, people are willing to pay more for quality.
Yes. It's got to taste good. It's
If-
got to feel good
that's
when you
right.
put it in your body.
That's right. So I encourage them to make, if they need to adjust prices, they need to adjust prices. There's a lot of folks that are sort of averse to doing that, thinking that they'll project the image that they're trying to gouge their clients or something, their customers. But really, that's not what they're doing. They're improving quality, and there's a cost for that.
Well, yeah, because nothing worse than shaky cheese, Parmesan cheese, but it looks like sawdust.
Right.
Right? There's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to a nice restaurant, the pasta looks great, the sauce looks great, the meatballs tasty, and you go to take the cheese, and you're like, it's not cheese. What
yeah.
is this? Right? It's like
You could taste quality.
You can taste quality. And that's what you're helping them do.
That's right.
And then you're probably allowing them to have more money to spend on the good quality food by saving them money maybe in their toiletries or maybe other things, you know, like maybe using a hand dryer instead of paper towels. Like you really take inventory item for inventory item.
We do. I mean,
Okay.
that's exactly what we do. We also help on the process side. So we're trying to reduce waste in a process. So sometimes it's materials, sometimes it's labor, sometimes it's just excess time that it takes, and all of those things wind up becoming earnings on the bottom line.
Now, for me, you know, any business owner watching this, any restaurant owner would be like, "Well, I can do that myself." Yeah, but they realize that they can't, and the reason that they can't is that they still need to run their restaurant. So hiring somebody like you makes the whole process more efficient and makes it work for them.
And you know what I say? I hear that all the time, and you know I tell them,
Yeah,
"You're
of
right.
course
You
you can
can
do
do
it yourself,
it.
right.
You can, but will you?"
Right.
Having
3:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the morning before you're waking
Right,
up to get the
exactly.
eggs from the hen, right?
After
So-
your 16-hour shift is over, 6.5 days a week. So yeah, I try to be that sort of additional resource for them. It's none of this is extremely difficult. It's just having the time to dedicate to it.
and the knowledge. I mean, let's be honest. One of the things that I've always liked about you is that you are so other-centered. You really do care about that restaurant owner as if it's your own restaurant, and you have the knowledge and the expertise to go in there and just kind of make it seamless for them. So how long do people typically engage with you? Do they sign up for 1 month, a 6-month program, a year?
Typically what I try to do is, a lot of the smaller to mid-sized restaurants, if they come to me, it's hard for them to, a lot of consultants ask for their payments up front. That's not how I do it.
Okay.
I want to be part of the solution along the way, and it also holds me accountable. So I like to sign clients up for at least a year. 6 months, it depends,
Okay.
but really like to target a year. And it's sort of a mutual accountability along the way.
Okay. So they'll pay you as things
On a monthly
progress.
on a monthly basis, and we every month when they're writing that check, they say, "Hey, has he really helped me this month?" And it sort of promotes that mutual accountability. I think it's important.
Do you ever let them pay you in steak once in a while too? Like,
I,
you know what?
I'm willing to barter a little bit.
I do that sometimes too.
I live
I'll be
in
like,
Manhattan, so
I
hey, I'm
know.
willing to barter.
And I'm a huge foodie myself, and so every once in a while I'll be like, I could do a nice steak and a baked potato once in a while. So
Right. I like to barter wine. That's
there you
my
go.
thing.
Oh, I see. Well, how can people reach out to you, Alan?
Yeah, my website, www.oriaconsulting.com.
Great.
Or on LinkedIn.
Wonderful. I thank you so much for being here. I so enjoy, like I said, networking with you in Manhattan. I find you funny, personable, so kind, and I know you're doing a great job for your clients, so it's an honor for me to have you here sharing your good news.
Thanks.
So you're welcome. Stay tuned for more, and bon appetit to you, wherever you're having lunch or dinner tonight. Ellen and I hope it's fabulous. Thanks for watching Live It Up.